On the 7th of September 1996, Tupac Shakur, one of the most influential rappers to have walked this planet, traveled to Las Vegas to attend the birthday party of his business partner, Tracy Robinson. At the party, he met up with his record label boss, b.i.g Knight. Together, they headed to the MGM Grand Hotel to watch a boxing match between Bruce Seldon and Mike Tyson. After the game ended, Tupac was about to leave with his crew when they crossed paths with Orlando Anderson, a Southside Compton Crips gang member. Tupac accused Anderson of trying to steal his expensive necklace, resulting in a brawl between Tupac's crew and Anderson. The hotel security footage shows Tupac men assaulting Anderson. After the encounter, Tupac and b.i.g Knight left the hotel in a BMW 750iL sedan, with an entourage following them. All the cars in the convoy were without number plates and blasted music on the way to their destination, prompting a police officer to stop them at around 11 p.m. They retrieved the number plates from the car boot and showed the police, who released them. The crew continued their journey, oblivious to the cruel fate that awaited Tupac that night. At 11:15 p.m., the vehicles stopped at a traffic light, and within a split second, a Cadillac sedan pulled up by the passenger side of the car, conveying Tupac and b.i.g Knight. One of the occupants of the Cadillac then fired multiple shots into the BMW. Tupac was hit 4 times, one to the arm, another in the thigh, and 2 to the chest. One of the bullets that hit his chest also penetrated his right lung. b.i.g Knight, who sat on the other side of the car, was hit by a fragment of a bullet shot at Tupac. The rapper was rushed to the University Medical Center of South Nevada, where he was put on life support. He fought for his life for 6 days, after which he passed on from internal bleeding. The rapper was only 25 years old. The reported cause of death was respiratory failure and cardiopulmonary arrest from multiple gunshot wounds. There is no question that Tupac was murdered, yet no one has been officially arrested or charged for this violent attack. Even though the police haven't provided answers about the murderer, conspiracy theories have been flying around regarding the perpetrators. Today we will look at 4 of these theories. In 2002, Chuck Phillips, a former Los Angeles Times investigation journalist, reported that Orlando Anderson, the Southside Crips gang, and Christopher Wallace, popularly called Notorious B.I.G., all had a hand in Tupac's death. According to the report he published in the LA Times, Notorious B.I.G. had previously paid the Crips gang $1 million to kill Tupac and even provided them with a gun, a .40 caliber Glock pistol, which was used to execute the shooting. Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac had a long feud that stemmed from rap rivalry. The two had altercations several times in the past and also dissed each other in rap tracks. This feud is believed to be B.I.G.'s motive for orchestrating the murder. Phillips noted that the Crips also had their motive for accepting this deal. It was believed that Tupac had ties with a rival gang called Mob Piru Bloods, and the gang members were Tupac's bodyguards. According to Phillips, the fight at the MGM Hotel had erupted because of this gang rival, as Anderson was a member of the Crips. To get his revenge for the assault on him, Anderson allegedly pulled the trigger on Tupac. The second theory still names Anderson and the Crips as the perpetrators, but with a different sponsor. Here, Sean Combs, popularly called P. Diddy, was the mastermind of the plan. He owned the record label Bad Boy Records, to which Notorious B.I.G. was signed. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, Anderson's uncle and a Crips member, reportedly confessed on tape that P. Diddy paid the Crips gang $1 million to murder Tupac and b.i.g Knight. b.i.g Knight and P. Diddy had been rivals in the record label business, so P. Diddy ordered the hit to eliminate him, and the famous rapper signed to his label. Keefe D. claimed he was one of the occupants of the car and that Anderson was the triggerman. This was not the only time P. Diddy would be called out as a threat to Tupac's life. Tupac had earlier survived an attempt on his life on the 30th of November 1994, and he suspected that P. Diddy was behind it. Likewise, in 2011, Dexter Isaac, an inmate serving a life sentence, confessed that P. Diddy had paid him to rob Tupac the same night someone attempted to kill him. The third theory we will examine was developed by Los Angeles Police Department detective Russell Pohl, who had worked with Randall Sullivan, the author of Labyrinth, an expose on the LAPD's involvement with death row records owned by Suge Knight. Pohl said he learned that no one could leave death row records without severe consequences, and this was something Tupac had planned on doing. Tupac was becoming more invested in acting then, so he wanted to leave death row records to start his record label and spend a significant part of his time on acting. Tupac successfully kept his plans a secret until he fired his attorney, David Kenner, who oversaw his contract with the record label. This action hurt Kenner, so he divulged Tupac's plan to leave the label to Suge Knight. The two of them then decided to have Tupac killed. Another motive Suge Knight had for wanting to eliminate Tupac was a $3 million debt he owed the rapper. For grounding this claim, Afeni, Tupac's mother, brought a lawsuit against Death Row Records in 1997 for misappropriating Tupac's royalty and finances in general. Also, on the day of the murder, Suge Knight was claimed to have been acting sketchy. He excused himself to make a secret phone call after the fight at MGM and insisted that Tupac rode in the same car with him, probably to communicate his movements to the perpetrators of the shooting. We know you are also wondering why Suge Knight would plan a drive-by shooting and be present in the targeted vehicle. Well, Pohl claimed that the gunman shot from an angle where only Tupac could have been hit, and this was why only a fragment of a bullet hit Suge Knight despite the car being riddled with bullets. Besides, a police officer or a doctor never confirmed the bullet wound Knight sustained, making it mere hearsay. Now to the final and most bizarre of the theories. There are claims that Tupac never died and only faked his death. Tupac adopted the alias Machiavelli and wrote the phrase, "Exit Tupac, enter Machiavelli," on the album sleeve of the Don Illuminati. This alias was derived from Niccolo Machiavelli, a political philosopher. Machiavelli preached the use of deception on one's enemy. One of these deceptions was faking one's death in any kind of battle. So, people believe Tupac was just following his mentor's footsteps. Let's examine some of the attempts at debunking these theories. Notorious B.I.G. was listed as the individual who orchestrated the shooting, yet he was killed on March 9, 1997 in the same manner that Tupac was murdered. He stopped at a traffic light when a black Chevy Impala pulled up by his side and the driver shot him repeatedly. Just like Tupac, he was struck 4 times, and even though there were 3 other people in the car, he was the only one hit. It is, however, possible that the whole event was an act of revenge for Tupac's death. Phillips, who came up with this particular theory that B.I.G. was responsible for Tupac's shooting, claimed he had gathered his information from witnesses who requested to remain anonymous. The anonymity of the sources makes the information unreliable. Also painting Phillips as a fraud, he retracted a different investigation report in 2008 when it came to light that he had used falsified FBI reports. Russell Pohl stated that no one had verified the report that Suge Knight was injured in the car shooting. But in 2014, former Las Vegas officer Chris Carroll, who claimed to be the first officer at the scene, said otherwise. Carroll attested that blood was gushing out of Suge Knight's head and all he cared about was Tupac's safety. In Carroll's words, "This is not the guy that had killed him, it's ridiculous." Also, it's absurd that Suge Knight orchestrated a shooting and insisted on riding in a car that he knew would be riddled with bullets. This is a risk that no one in their right mind will take. Despite Keith D confessing to being an accessory to Tupac's murder, he has never been charged for his involvement in the crime. Since he hasn't been charged and found guilty of this allegation, he remains innocent. Does Keith D's version of the story sound true to you? Do you believe Notorious B.I.G. ordered the hit, or perhaps it was Suge Knight, someone Tupac couldn't have been wary of? Or are you a die-hard fan who finds consolation in believing that Tupac faked his death? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Likewise, turn on notifications so you never miss a video.